Hi guys. Right, so I'm so sorry about this. This is my first time doing a video, and you'll have to bear with me until I get the hang of it. I'm going to try and do it in one because I'm not very good at doing the software things and editing. But hopefully I'll get better. I'm sure you guys are great at it, but I'm still very much a novice. So as soon as hopefully I will get better at it really quickly and things will be much better. So I'm going to show you what I've done and what I've got ready, and then we are going to start our spaghetti bolognese. So I have got my equipment ready. I've got my water on to boil already. I have all my ingredients. Now I like using sausage mince, so I just take pork sausages and I take the skins off, but you can use anything that you want. You can use beef mince. If you want to do vegetarian, you can use quorn mince, or you can simply just use an entire selection of vegetables if you want to make a vegetarian version. Now I like putting a lot of vegetables, different vegetables, into my spaghetti bolognese, so that's why I have a whole lot of vegetables over there. I've also got some cheese for serving and some herbs to add flavor. So I'm going to get started now. Right, the water should be rapidly boiling before you put your pasta in. Now I'll show you what that looks like. Can you see big bubbles forming? I've taken the lid off now, so you might not be able to see quite so many. Alright, and I've put some salt in there so that the water boils faster. I've got my spaghetti here. Always a handy thing to have in the kitchen, and that's your scissors. And then I'm going to I'm using a packet because I have 5 in my family. So I'm going to throw that in and let go. Right, and those will soften as they hit the hot water, and we'll use a spoon in a minute to get them down even further. Right, so I'm going to give my spaghetti a stir with a wooden spoon, just so that they don't stick together. Right. Okay, and now we're going to start with our chopping, and I'm going to pop a little bit of oil, 1 tablespoon, into the bottom of my saucepan. And then I'm going to get my onion ready. So we know that when we're chopping an onion, sorry guys, I didn't like the look of that onion, so I'm just going to start again with another one. Right, I have a little bowl next to me for all my rubbish. Right, remember, we're going to slice off the leaf end. The root end stays on. Once you've got a flat section, you can then pop it over and it doesn't move. Slice it in half, and then you've got a handy little opening to take off all your skins. And if you're having problems getting the skin off, just roll it on your board and you can hear it crackling, and it should come off. Much easier. So saying, some of them come off easier than others. Right, do not cut off the root. I just want to do the same with the other one. Right, keep your board clean because you don't want these little bits in your spaghetti. Now, I had an onion left over from last night's dinner. We made burgers, so I'm going to be using that one as well. Let's give my spaghetti a stir. That's going to take about 10 minutes. Right, so now we know that we are going to pretend that there is a line there. We're going to hold our knife correctly, and remember that your knife is held by the blade, and then the rest of your hand goes over the handle of the knife so that you have complete control over your knife. You are going to pretend that there's a line there, and you are going to use claw grip, and you're going to go down, making slices in the onion. Swap to bridge. Right, when you get there, then you're going to flip it to 90 degrees, and then you're going to do a sliding motion using claw grip, always down. When you get to the part of the onion that is difficult to hold, flip your onion, do a few cuts, and then you can go. Right, and that is all that we do not use. Right, keep your board clear. So that can either go on a tray or in a bowl, but I just put it straight into my saucepan. Right, now I'm going to do my carrots, and with your carrots, just want to give them a good peel. Right, now remember that we are not going to take off this end of the carrot because that is your finger hold and it protects your fingers, so don't take that off. If you've got any little bits in your carrot that you don't like, your peeler generally has a little bit on the side which you can just take it out with, or you can cut it out with a knife. That piece we're not going to use, but it's our finger hold, so we're going to keep it on for now. I have got my onions frying, and I'm putting it on a medium heat, and I'll give those a stir every now and then. There's my spaghetti, and I'm giving that a stir every now and then as well. That's going to take about 10 minutes. Right. So, okay. So when we are doing any long vegetable, you're going to take the tip off. That's going to go. Now when I've got a very big vegetable, cut it in half. Please remember to be careful and that you're always trying to get a flat surface on your vegetables because it's easier to cut. Right, so I'm going to take that piece off as well. Now I like to cut mine like that. Alright, and I'll do the same with this one, and then I've got two pieces, and I'm just going to remember your cutting action is a sliding action, and you're going to cut your carrots and keep going, claw grip to start off with, and keep your thumb behind your blade. Remember, if your thumb is behind your blade, you can't cut your fingers. Alright, and remember you're using your knuckles as a guide. and you're going to keep going until all your carrots are done. Right, so I'm on the last one now, and I'm just going to keep going and show you what I do at the end. So as soon as you get close, this is why we don't cut off this bit over here, because it's for our fingers and we're not going to use that bit, so we're going to throw that away. So that's our carrots done. Now remember, I really do like using a whole lot of vegetables in mine. So I use mushrooms, I use green peppers, I use carrots. It's a good way of getting vegetables into my children, so I add whatever I've got in the fridge. I sometimes use courgettes, but mostly peppers, carrots, and well, basically anything that I need to get used up in the fridge. So guys, what we are doing now is we are sauteing the vegetables. It has to be on a medium temperature. Please don't put it on high, because what will happen is that you're just going to burn the vegetables, and then that's going to run, that flavor will run through your entire dish. So that's my last mushroom. Remember, keep your thumb behind your blade. Right, and I'm going to show you what's happening in here. Right, so I've got all my vegetables in there, and I'm frying them on a medium heat. Right, I'm going to start. Now I think my spaghetti is done, so I'm just going to check it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Right, so if we've got a strand of spaghetti, if we pop it open, alright, now I'm not sure if you can see that. I don't know but there should be just the tiniest of little dots on the inside of your spaghetti. I'm going to drain that and I'll be back. Right, so I'm just going to do the celery now, and the celery is an absolutely wonderful flavor, guys. If you don't like raw celery, I don't really like raw celery. It's got a very strong flavor, but I guarantee you that when it's in a cooked dish, it gives it a lovely peppery flavor. Right, so that is frying up nicely, and I'm just going to keep going with that while I'm doing everything else, just until all those vegetables are nice and soft. And you'll be able to see that they change color. They will go translucent, so you'll be able to tell when your vegetables are done. The carrots won't be done yet. The carrots need to be boiled in the stock, and that's when they will be done. Right, so I have got everything else ready, so I'm going to show you how to do the garlic. Now, guys, you know I don't really like garlic, but I wanted to show you how to do the garlic. So give it a push and it will just disintegrate, so you can get the garlic clove out. Right, so now you don't want any of the skin, and you don't want this bit over here. Alright, so just give it a bash, right, and then you'll be able to peel the skin off very easily. That's just going to go on the side. Now, I have a garlic crush at home, but I never use it. In fact, it's packed away because it's I find it just so much quicker to do this, and you don't really need gadgets to do this. So I'm going to just give it a little dice quickly, and then once I have it diced, I'm going to pop a little bit of salt on it. And then I'm going to use the tip of my knife. I'm going to hold it like this at the back, and I'm going to use the tip of my knife. I'll try and show you that. The whole thing. Right, and then I'm going to use my finger here, and I'm going to use the tip of the knife to squish it down. And just get all the bigger pieces crushed, and there you have it, crushed garlic. Right, quick, easy, really doesn't take a long time. Right, the last thing I'm going to do is I have got some fresh oregano, but you can use dried, absolutely fine. In fact, I'm probably going to put a little bit of dried in there as well, and just keep an eye on your frying veg while you're doing this. I've just got a few sprigs here. I'm going to leave one sprig for serving, and the rest I'm going to do. So a quick way of getting the herbs off the stem, the stalk, is just to hold it with one hand, and there we go. It's very easy. So pull, and then just take the tip off. Pull, take the tip off. So pull. It's got a bit stalky bit. End one is always more difficult. Right, pull, and there we have our herbs. Right, that one I'm going to leave for serving, and then I'm just going to run my knife. I'm holding the tip of my knife with one hand, push it together, there you go, and that is going to go in. Right, so guys, what I've done now is I have taken all my vegetables out of my pan, and I've put my meat into the frying pan, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get that flavour, and it's very difficult to do that when you have got your vegetables in the pan. So I'm going to break that up now and mince it, and I'll show you what it looks like. Right, so now that's what that looks like, and your mince will look the same. But what I want to show you is I want to show you that. Right, can you see that lovely brown colour in the bottom of your pan? Now that is called the Maillard reaction, and it occurs when the Maillard reaction, and oops, that occurs when protein and the sugars in proteins are heated, and then you get that lovely brown colour. Now that brown colour is very important. It is flavour, and we should try and do that with everything that we do. So if you're making a stew, when they say brown the meat, that is what they mean. So give it a nice crunchy brown on the outside. It develops the flavour, it adds the flavour. The same thing happens with vegetables when you get those lovely brown bits on vegetables, but on vegetables that is called caramelization, because it's the sugars in the vegetables that get caramelized. So I'm going to get the meat to the right consistency, and then I'll be back. Right, so now we've got that done. We've got a lovely caramelized, don't worry about that, it will disappear when you start putting in the liquid. So now I'm going to add back the vegetables. And I'm going to add my tomato puree. Now, I think you all know that I do not like to waste. So I actually put water, the water that we use, I put that into the cans and I rinse those out. And then I also put it into my mixer, and then that goes in. As you can see, guys, my family loves spaghetti, and I actually double the portion so that when we've finished dinner tonight I can actually take that and freeze some of it, so that I've got a very quick meal for a busy night. Now, when you have added the liquids, just give the bottom a little bit of a scrape, and I promise it will come off. Right, and all that flavour that you've built up at the bottom of your pan will come. Right, now the last things that we are going to add is the stock cube, and I just sprinkle that straight in. I don't boil a kettle and then do the water, and I add the water straight in and the stock cube straight in. Just make sure you don't get any. Right, sprinkle that in. Tomato puree, about 2 tablespoons. Nothing has to be completely accurate at this stage. I'm going to use more than 2 tablespoons, guys, because remember I'm making a lot more than you. Right, and then I'm going to pop in some Worcestershire sauce. And then I'm going to give that a good stir. I have a spoon rest because I don't like putting my spoons and things directly onto the counter, so that my counter stays nice and clean. Right, guys, and that's that. It is all your spaghetti has been done. I will get the hang of this, I promise, guys. Right, so I'm going to let that boil for a little while, and about 15 minutes or 20 minutes depending on how much you have made. If you've doubled it, it might take a little bit longer. Your tomato sauce must taste really, really nice. It mustn't taste raw anymore, so do taste your food. I have put a little bit of salt and pepper in mine, so do season it, and I've got my herbs in there which also season the food. So make sure that you've got all that in there. Leave it on a nice medium heat to boil and to cook through for about 15-20 minutes, a little bit longer if you are making more like me, and I'll come back and show you how we serve it. And there we go guys. Spaghetti Bolognese served on a nice plate. Make sure that it's clean around the edges. Little bit of fresh herbs on top and some cheese, and there you go, Spaghetti Bolognese. Any questions, please do email me. You've got my email, or use our classroom, and I will see you soon with the next video.